And as we led into the last match of the day, Project Eversio versus EvH. Well, we saw Eversio dispatch of their lines rather quick in the last game, so let's see if EvH can provide some real counter pressure, some real resistance, because we have seen a lot of somewhat lopsided games today.
Yeah, I mean, as we talked about for the game, rank-wise, these teams are both pretty dang even. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how EvH can deal with Eversio's strength. I mean, Eversio pretty much just sweep the four with Entropy. I mean, with their first point hold on King's Row and a 3-0 on Nepal, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how EvH can withstand that. I mean, maybe they're a little bit, scared. I don't know if they watched the game before, but I can imagine it'd be a little bit, disheartening potentially. But at the same time, since these guys do have experience in the previous tournament, on EvH at least, it should be interesting to see how they deal with Eversio. I mean, didn't you say that some of these players have played with each other in the past?
Yeah, pretty much everyone on Team EvH, not in these specific setups, but yeah, everyone on EvH was a participant in the last sim as well. Serenity, PKMLT, Death Row, Sin, Reed also all played last tournament. You Mad Rebel was either a new player or someone who had a name change. I'm not entirely sure about that. But looks like we are going into the first game of the last series, rather, on Dorado.
Okay, all right. They're already going back towards up top through a quick flank route, it looks like. And that's really interesting to see, especially with the Ana Diva Roadhog. I mean, obviously, Diva not being as in meta as you think, and especially against the enemy comp, it's a little bit harder to run the Diva since it's heavily tank heavy. But we'll see how they do. I mean, they're just gonna relax up top, taking up high ground. I like the two splits between the team. I mean, having 3 people on cart is important, but also having a setup, and actually the Widow going for that long flank behind potentially could be doing something here. But no, actually going to be really aggressive and doesn't actually get fully punished here. Gets sent down to 1 HP, but not taken out. And it's actually just basically a 4v5 here, or a 5v6 here, as that's already a charge in from Gunbell, sorry. Going to be taken out, and that's already 2 down for the side of the offense. Potentially going to be wiped here. 2 down already, and especially with that Diva going aggressive in the back line, going to be taken down as well. And it looks like Zambu actually going to be taken down as well in the front line. Going to be charged. Nice charge from Yumata, and that's a nice job from the defensive side.
He got like squatted there between a Reinhardt and a half place. Really nice hold, and some interesting tactics there. Okay, so we see them switch up the Widowmaker. We see Zambu also switch off Roadhog towards Reaper. He's played a lot of Reaper recently, so that's not too surprising. Soulkiller in the last tournament also played almost exclusively Diva, so a lot of comfort picks here on the side of Team EvH. Let's see if they're comfortable enough for them to succeed in the second try of this push.
Yep, and actually an early hook onto Gunbell. Was one to hammer down as well, with no hammer on the side of the offensive fight. Actually, there was a hammer, but with that pin, that hook actually prevented him from really doing anything. So nice job from Yumata to notice that he really couldn't get that hammer down with that grappling hook. I mean, that grappling hook stunned him for a second, and at the same time, Yumata to walk into the background, got the hammer even onto the Reinhardt. So amazing positioning from Yumata to get that Reinhardt hammer.
Yeah, Mad Rebel hitting a great earthshatter, but also like Asphyx used their the nano boost on Gunfeld, and he just got immediately earth shattered, and just a waste of that nano boost, which is really unfortunate considering that Hitman is quite rapidly approaching his ultimate.
Nicely, Death Throw getting left from up top, going to be taken down right away with the early shield, and actually a hammer down actually comes down as well on the side of Gunbelt. So coming back, he says, no, I still have my hammer down. You can't really do anything against it. So he just walked into the back line, and there's unfortunately no ults even to contest with Death Throw's death. I mean, they had Nano that I'd assume they were managing, or they're trying to do a Nano hog ult, but I guess Reed just wasn't in position since he got hammered down at the end.
Yeah, exactly, and now you see them take high ground here, forfeiting up that the first part here is not too much use in trying to hold that. They're going to try a little bit. You see Mad Rebel moving a bit forward, getting some charge. Zambu trying to flank though, with Christo and Hitman there as well, so a little bit risky though, because you get blown up super easily there.
Yep, they're doing the Reddit play. They're sending Christu up top, trying to get the early boop onto them, maybe trying to do a debolt up top. Zembu's up actually top. A breakdown goes to the bottom. Actually, I don't know if it touched the Reaper, but Death Row picks up Zombu. I mean, that was a weird play. In particular, Hitman actually gets a trade on to Reed at least. And the Nano Visor is going to be out of the way, and PK Melt's actually going to be chased down to the side of the courtyard. Probably not going to die, actually. It seems that the Nano boosted Reinhardt is actually going to be in the back line as well, and nice trades on the side. I'm surprised they didn't take down PK Melt. Actually hammered down. I don't know if it was entirely necessary, but it doesn't really matter. Takes down the rest of Entropy, or not Entropy, EvH in particular.
Yeah,
the last
all the teams with the E's. We have like Paradigm and
Eversio,
Project
Entropy.
Eversio, and Eversio also has an E, and then you have EvH and Entropy. It's mayhem.
It's mayhem indeed, and Kritsu, I think that was a bit of a misplay from him, trying to drop the beat and actually falling down below. Unfortunately, Zombu didn't even get the beat drop, so he went down to the Roadhog right away, got a hook onto him. So I like the idea. I don't like the execution, and they're trying to go for it again. No, they're actually gonna go upper church.
Yeah, and the combination of Diva's defense matrix and Reinhardt's shield's really strong. Oh, there we go. Never mind. Really just Death Row just shredding through those defensive capabilities of Team EvH here.
Yeah, as much as Gunfeld did, he should have known that maybe that his team was gonna die after he charged in. I get the idea of a counter charge on the Reinhardt, but at the same time, yeah, it's just gonna be actually it's Keela up here. Actually,
strike gets you Mad Rebel though.
Zombu actually doing some amazing damage there, and Gunbelt finishing up. Nice work by those two players. Really good synergy in particular. And they actually have a beat drop visor here, potentially a nano visor here as well coming up soon. But at the same time, yep, Blade is available for the offense. So we'll see if they actually do anything. Zombu comes down to the back line, gonna look for the Death Blossom. Can find 1, 2, never mind. 2 kills, not enough potentially. Actually gets 3. It's an even trade right now. Zombu's last 1 point. Solo gets onto Yuma. Actually, at the same time, Reek trades with Zombu, and it's actually a 2v2 situation with the Ana. And actually, Deepa gets out of Meko. No Serenity. Nice boop for him. So this is a DPS Ana. Unfortunately, not enough. Let's see if Serenity can install enough for his team to get back into the time. And actually, Deepa out of Mech can pitch it up. Serenity do some nice stall here. Zombu can't find him. And PK Melt is back in time. But Gunel is also back as well. With an Ana boost onto the defensive side. Can potentially do something as well to solve this fight. But at the same time, Gunflip for that charge. That could be deadly for him. But also attack Buzz comes around from the back right. Hitman finds 1. Yumata gets onto 1 as well. It's a trade even 1 for 1 with the Lucio down as well. But Death Row gets the trade onto Zombu. And so does Gunfelt. And that's a nice defensive hold here as the Ana boost comes out to you Mad Rebel.
Yeah, and it was so close there for a second. You had Christu and Zambu and Soulcolor dueling with Sin and Serenity for so long there. However, on this specific point, obviously the respawn for defense is just a little bit shorter, and because of that, they're able to hold by the skin of their teeth. 2 supports holding on for so long against a tank and DPS. Pretty good job.
I don't know how they did, honestly. I mean, that was a misplay from Zombu. I feel like as the offensive side, I'd be a little bit upset at them for not trying to get more aggressive, but at the same time, it's a little bit too late. They have 5 seconds left on the clock. Let's see if they get the early pick. At the same time, Hitman going really far into the back line. Not very smart, but at the same time, a Devo comes out, potentially going to break shield. Doesn't find anything just yet. Breaks the shield, but actually his charge comes out, and actually Mad Rebel goes down, but so does PK Melt. Onto Hitman. Re gets a trade, 1 for 1 trade, back to Zumba. That's a 4v4 fight here. Gunfelt's just waiting in the car, looking for something to shield, but at the same time, Death Row into the back line goes down as well. But Sin gets the aggressive trade. Also finds Zuma's in, going off right now. Can he get one more? PK Melt with attack buzzer can't find anything because the Divas actually soaking up. Sin is going insane, sleeps Gunfelt, and gets the frag onto it potentially as well. But no! Oh my gosh, Sin! That was a 1v3 clutch from Sin right there. Can potentially clear it off as well, and oh my god, Sin's insane.
Well, that's a pretty good Ana.
That was pretty good.
I mean, that is like the second time. I mean, in this scenario, they also had some backup, but Serenity and Sin coming up big time, and I don't think I've seen, like, you talk about supports carrying teams, right? And it's something that usually happens in the background, and you really need to point it out as a cast to really see what's happening, because it's really easy to miss because watching supports isn't necessarily super interesting. But in this scenario, you have 2 supports who just stall for such a long time. Incredible.
Yeah, I mean, Sin finding that perfect timing with getting into the back line and Death Row.
Sleep.
Yep. I mean, that was a nice sleep onto Gunfelt.
Yeah.
Actually, I think he got 2 sleeps.
Killer, yeah.
Was it Soul Killer?
First Soul Killer, yeah, and then...
Either way, this man's hitting sleeps. I mean, it's pretty obvious. I mean, Sin's just walking into the back line in certain situations. I mean, I don't know how often he's done that. I'm pretty sure that was like the first time he's like actually pushed to the back line, but a perfect read by him, and he doesn't get punished for it either. I mean, both teams are seemingly leaving their back line to die, so Sin's like, you know what, screw it. I'm not going to sit in the back line anymore. I'm going to go with you guys in the front line because I'm sick of dying to this dang soldier that's just running our back line killing people. I mean, this is like what we've seen before with Soul something earlier. Yeah, Solex earlier, just running in the back line.
Like, okay, just going to flank every single time and plays like a tracer.
I mean, Sin's going to be doing the flanking now from now on.
I don't expect we're actually going to see Reed on Pharah. That would be surprising. I wouldn't be surprised with PKMLT and Widow. Seen him play it before, and it's quite strong.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, I personally...
Pharmacy, then. That'd be cool.
I'm a big fan of running against a Pharah against a solo. Yep. I mean, I'm fine with this. Running against the Soldier Mei. I mean, I'm perfectly fine with that.
Yeah, that's true.
Because he has a lot of sustain. I mean, Soldier doesn't have much burst damage onto the Pharah. He's gonna need Discord to take him out or something, or another hit scan. And I just don't think he has the power. So I like Reed's positioning potentially here, and pick in particular.
Yeah, unless you have Anaf or Asphyx focus.
Oh, and a boop!
Not gonna get him down.
That boop was actually pretty good as it forces the rest of the team to drop. And actually, nice call by EvH to drop there. And Hitman actually gets to trade on to Reeve. Nice job by him. Death Row actually potentially going to be crit 2. No, he's not. Hitman's going to finish up on Death Row 2 as well, potentially. But no, Death Row somehow gets crit 2 in that. And that's actually a super good trade, a really good trade in favor of Eversio, as eventually they're going to come back to the cart and they're actually going to be down 1 on the defensive side. Yes, it's a Lucio, but at the same time, they are down 1, and actually the Widow's going to be trying to do something in the background where he's actually trying to be spawn camping. Actually, no way. Hitman kind of find him, dude. PK Melt's actually in a super bad situation. He's going to try to hide at the door. Oh, man. PK Melt. Time to swap, bud.
Yeah. That was actually fun, like, because he was like standing there trying to pick off Chris too. And then Zamu was sniping him with the Mei, right click. It's really nice.
And that was some BM actually from Death Row, just sitting over the sleeping Reinhardt. Actually delays him quite a bit. The nano boost actually as well is wasted, unfortunately for them, as Death Row just 2-shots him. So nice job with that nano boosted Roadhog to notice that the Roadhog needed nano boost, or rather damage boost there. And actually no nade for Asterix. Actually Sleep comes out early too, gets hooked, and unfortunately it's not going to be enough, actually going to go down in the end. But nice job by the UMAD Riddle to notice on that situation and push them. And Reed is actually going deep into the back line of the Lucio. Going to find Crit 2 probably. Yes, he does. And Tech Fights are also coming on the defensive side. But no, gets hooked by Death Row. You have no follow-up, mate. Your Nana's dead. Everyone else is dead as well, as Attack Fights comes out with the Hoggle. And that's a lot of ultis, but it doesn't really matter because that's the first point take in favor of Project Eversio.
Yeah, I think the only thing that was like super unnecessary was the whole hog. Everything else was nice execution, and they get the first point here on Dorado. So looking good there. 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Huh, that's a joke if I've ever heard one. To push it onto just shy of the second point. Okay. Hitman on the Widowmaker, sniping Reed. I like the counter pick. Should get Reed to like really quick stitch off. Yeah, there we go. There's the Zarya. Oh, okay.
Oh no. I was about to say Hitman hitting woman, but he's honestly not doing so, as he just taken out by PK Melt on the defensive side. And honestly, that's another 5v6 situation that you really don't want to happen on the defensive side, as they already have to fall back. And Soul Killer slept as well is not really good for them, but a nice 3-man Flame Strike comes out. That's a lot of ult charge for UMAD Rebel, as he's probably going to get an ult charge for Rhino, but at the same time, Gunbelt could easily do that thing where you talked about, where he can run past shield. And actually a Mail comes out, potentially going to be seeing a Reinhammer here as well from Run Out. Yes, we are. That's a 3-man, 4-man Earth Shatter almost, and that's already the rest of the offensive side taken down potentially, as yes, the RP came out trying to get traded 1-for-1. He's damn boosted, actually can get more than one. He's going to get a res, and that's actually going to be traded by as the beat drop comes out. It's only a 3v5. He can't really do anything there, as that's no follow-up. Unfortunately, the rest of your team's dead. A nice try. Fully charged. Sorry, I can't really do much here, as Gunfelt's just charged in the end there. UMAD Rebel going to get a hammer down. Not really necessary, but it doesn't really matter as he gets clean up onto the rest of EvH.
Yeah, and as I was about to say, until the rest came in, the second part of the team fight mayhem started. Serenity and PKMLT just stood on top of the porch throughout that entire team fight, and then as soon as they noticed that all of the resources were wasted, they jumped right back in, hit that revive. PKMLT gets a couple of kills. Virtually, while I'm told that the push gets completely resetted, so they still have 2 minutes and 30 seconds to push those last few meters. It's only 15 roughly, so
No one can hide from the
need one or two good team fights to pull that off.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's the team who makes the most mistakes. They both have Widowmakers. They're
Yeah,
both getting picked off before every fight. I mean, at the same time, EvH is winning some of these fights and then just throwing them by dying very late in the fight to some ridiculous pick. I think they need to stop doing that. I mean, their executions has been good on, at least for the most part. Actually, nice sleep as well, and a nade as well, and a hammer down. That's 2 down already, but at the same time, Kritsu goes down, and a Dragon Blade comes out late from Reed. Oh, can it really do anything? No, because Hitman can just trade back and forth. Gonna trade him, but it's the last one left. That's a little bit late of a Dragon Blade as the rest of your team's dead unless Death Row can find this kill on the Soul Life. Yes, he can, but it doesn't really matter because Reed goes down and Death Row can't really find anything else.
yeah. So hopefully Death Row can get out there. He's just kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. Almost hits the hook on Soulkill up there, who doesn't want to get hit while out of that Mac. I mean, you don't want to get hit while you're in the Mac, but it's not the huge, the biggest of problems. Serenity has rest though, so I can only imagine it to go for.
Oh, it's a Widow v Widow.
Last time, there's the pick.
PK Mel, nice job by picking off Hitman. He was really the huge problem and actually picks off 2 as the nano boosted whole hog actually can't really find too much, but it doesn't really matter because the rest of the team of the defensive side is getting wiped out, and this is just up to Kritsu. This man has tried to be clutch before, but really can't really do anything as Reed finishes him up. There's one contesting cart, and it's just not going to be enough. There we go.
And that is the first map going to Project Eversio. Honestly, doesn't look very easy to stop them. Even though, especially at the beginning, we've seen this a couple of times today, where at the beginning it seems like teams are pretty evenly matched. Yeah, this is incorrect. This is obviously team or Project Eversio. And then as soon as they realize what's happening and just start stomping.
Yeah, I mean, as good as this the Reaper pick was for Zambu, it just wasn't enough as Project Eversio really just cleaned up there towards the end. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, EvH played these team fights relatively well. I mean, they got the picks, they got the trades, and they actually played them pretty well. And then in the pre-fight, mid-fight, setting up for fights, for some reason got super aggro, just like they would on offense. But it's not like it mattered because when they were getting aggro on offense, it was kind of the fight was already ending. So it's interesting to see how these teams sort of be overly aggressive in certain situations.
Yeah, like you said, it started off with just the one pick on Hitman, but that already relieved so much pressure for TCO, and they really know how to capitalize on it. As soon as they see that Hitman is taken out, they go way aggro, and it was just really hard for EvH to deal with that in a proper way. Looks like the next map we are going to load into is going to be Nambani, one we've seen a couple of times already today, and hopefully EvH can pull themselves together and get this one, or if not, this is going to be the last map of the day, and I'd rather cast some more, so let's hope that the EvH bands together and pulls off the... I mean, an underdog story is kind of exaggerated considering it's the first day of the tournament, but Project Eversio is looking really strong. Yeah,
I mean, Eversio playing out of their minds right now, but at the same time, if I feel like if EvH can just stop giving up those picks, I'd love to see how they just take these fights. I mean, when they get super aggressive and they start to push the back line, it's a bit ridiculous, especially when the fight's are already pretty much over. Both teams, I feel like just in general, Overwatch is a matter of which team makes the least amount of mistakes at this level currently. I mean, because yes,
that goes for pretty much every sport ever, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's just more obvious in Overwatch. Yeah, I feel like just because of the fact that it's so impactful if you're
5v6.
Yeah, if you're 5v6 before a fight even starts, even if it's a Lucio, I mean, it doesn't really matter because you're still down a player when the fight's about to start. It's just unfortunate.
Yeah, it's really, really fast and vicious. So one single mistake can make such a. But I guess that goes for I think League is the same, which one mistake in a 40-minute game could just immediately lose you the game.
Yep.
I guess something like Counter-Strike would be a little bit more receptive to like pullback potential, but I'm not entirely sure. But you know a lot more about Counter-Strike than I do, so.
Yeah, I mean, Overwatch is definitely its own unique game, as where picks maybe are more impactful in certain situations. I feel like maybe picks like delayed picks are more, you know, forgiving in Overwatch, but at the same time, it's a little bit. It depends. It all depends on the situation, you know. I mean, it'll be interesting to see as they go straight up the middle here. The favorite team actually just going up straight through mid, taking it slow with the Widowmaker playing behind the Rhine Shield. And Gunfelt drops actually falls to the bait, but no, it's actually a good bait as Zombu picks on Mad Rebel, but no, it doesn't matter because he just picked back on the same time. Kritsu picks him off and it's a 1-for-1 trade. It's a 5v5. Reed picks up Hitman. Reed's already in the back line. This Diva's trying to do damage to him, but man, you're playing Diva. You don't do damage. Diva was nerfed and PK Melt picks off 3 people, and that's all of the defensive side. PK Melt picks up another one. That's Gunfelt down. That's 4 total for him, and Soul Killer has just slept and killed. It's not like it mattered. He's not doing anything anyways at this point. He's playing Diva. No offense, my man, but you're playing a nerf hero that does no damage.
Yeah, well, and I really like the tactic that you see here from Project Eversio. So what you're doing, you're drawing so much attention to Reed and Serenity that PKMLT is free reign. Oh, whiffed Earth Shatter, that is painful. But you're drawing so much attention to the pharmacy that PKMLT just has a field day and snipes everyone. Reed blows himself up. That's a bit unfortunate.
Yeah, and actually at the same time, they only got 1 tick on the clock as well, so unfortunately Reed couldn't find more and the rest of his team went down. But at the same time, they do have a barrage ready, and they actually will have probably more ults than EvH will. It's just depending on where they take it, which is interesting why they didn't win the fight. I think they just got a little maybe cocky. The Mr. Shatter really didn't mean anything for EvH, unfortunately.
Which is, you know, surprising. I'm not sure if I like going straight through the middle here when the enemy team has a Widowmaker. It's really risky.
It is really risky, I agree. And at the same time, Hitman's finding off these picks, but at the same time, Reed and Death Row pick up 2 at the back left side. If you're going to play with the Widowmaker up top left, you need to play towards him instead of playing towards the back right. And the help the truck comes out. Can't really find anything. Hitman finds Mad Rebel, and it's an even trade 1-for-1, actually. At the same time, Hitman takes on PK Mountain. He's actually winning this fight. The res comes out as well for the offensive side. Potentially can bring it back. PK Mountain finds Hitman. Finally, he needs the res to kill him, and finally Soul Killer will go down, and it's up to Gunbelt. No ult, no anything, besides a team behind his back right now, and a barrage comes out as well. Try to find one. Actually gets to Lucio. Not necessary, but I guess it's sending a message. You know what? Sending a message.
Yeah, and Reed's barrage there also like drew the attention for a second, which is enough. He immediately switches off and goes back to the Genji. So I imagine we're going to see Serenity switch off as well. Even though last game Serenity stayed on the Mercy as well, so maybe Project Eversio really liking the offensive Mercy here, which is interesting to say the least.
For sure, and it's Hitman's carrying his team right now on Widowmaker, just getting picks after picks and picks off Sin,
that was a trick shot as well. It was up in the air for that.
Oh man, that's a Kefri shot I've ever seen one, and actually no hammer down. Unfortunately, hits the shield, and Rebel is actually purple and gonna get taken down. Unfortunately, to anti-nade, and Gunbelt is gonna find that pick and actually playing super aggressive here. This is what I was talking about earlier. They need to not do this. If they get traded 1 pick here, it's gonna be all over for them as they finally start to fall back, and they're actually getting a pick on a death row. Yeah, like yes, they get the hook on him, but he just has too much support, and finally taking it smart. Finally falling back. Hitman not being too aggressive. Nice job by them.
Yeah, agreed. You know, you mentioned Kefri. You know that the avoid a player and prefer a player was removed because of him? Because people didn't want to play with a Widowmaker only player. I mean, like, so it was like literally just for him.
It's pretty tilt-worthy when Widowmaker's not in meta, but there's somebody playing Widowmaker and still owning. I mean, it's just kind of... It's a bit, you know, obviously annoying. But actually, at the same time, a 3-man Earth Shatter, man, that's annoying for the enemy team on the defensive side as they get taken down apparently by Mad Rebel, and that's a 3-man, 4-man death for them, and it's just going to be wiped up here. Soul Killer can't really do anything. Again, playing Diva, no damage. And they're really playing this, I feel like, although their aggression is, you know, warranted, and they're actually not even being too aggressive, I feel like with the Diva, they just have to play this a little bit differently compared to most teams with their aggression.
Yeah, agreed. And like I said, Soul Killer, as far as I can remember, has always played Diva and really likes playing Diva and just plays a lot of Diva. Don't know if I repeated that enough, but to reiterate, he really likes playing Diva. And as such, that also means that now that she's not as strong anymore, you have to kind of take her drawbacks. PKMLT and Hitman have been in a battle of Widowmakers throughout the entire game.
Yeah, and it's actually PKML just playing the super aggressive Widow right in the backline. You can't forget about your backline here. There's a Widowmaker relaxing and having a day picking off people of your team, and he's just SMGing. He didn't even care about the scope. He's just going in left click, and he might as well be main tracer right now as Co-Killer tries to find one. Actually gets read with the self-destruct, can find potentially more, and it looks like actually the res wasn't enough as the rest of the offensive side is actually gonna have to fall back because there's just a Widowmaker trying to spray people down with an SMG. You're not tracer, my friend. Actually, Solo Killer. He actually got two? What the heck? I didn't even notice that part. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, PK Melt. You can just SMG people all you want if you're going to find picks like that.
Yeah, he's the most aggressive Widowmaker I've seen in quite a while. Hitman is, really playing the classic Widowmaker, going for trick shots and staying in behind, and Pinky MLT just runs in. You see kind of that switch, that monkey there. Oh, you mad grab. Oh, the combination of... Oh, that is so painful. Yeah,
that's upsetting.
That was a Reinhardt being nano boosted, and then you have a Graviton search, and then if that isn't enough, you have Reed.
Yeah,
with
just with that
his ultimate, with the Dragon Blade just slashing through people.
For some reason, they just couldn't take back these fights. They won them, like I was saying, they won them, and then they didn't check their back line. When I guess there was just a crazy freaking Widowmaker PK melt. He was melting all over the back line, I guess, with his SMG, and I don't even know how you just don't even notice there's a Widowmaker relaxing your background. Like I saw the Lucio Kritsu look back. He's like, oh, there's a Widowmaker back there. Boom, headshot. He's dead. No more comms. Okay, see you, dude. It's like he's just out of the game. It's just PK Melt's take him out of the server.
Just killing him so efficiently that even his internet connections immediately dies off. Real role playing. I respect that. Should role play that aggressively. It's cool.
It's intense. I mean, he might as well...
please bring the Bastion. I mean, it's on offense, so it's not actually gonna happen, but.
I forgot what Zambu played actually too. I mean, he's playing Reaper. It could happen. I mean, it's not PTR just yet, my friend. Bastion's not this OP, but you know what? It was actually.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Oh, I was saying there's actually a legitimate strategy to run through lower where the Mega is in like the lower side of underneath where they're at positioned right now, and they go to point and they come back into this little hallway back behind the point, which is called Axis here, and you just wait back there with the Reinhardt watching the choke, and you just sit there as Bastion and spray people down. That's a legitimate strategy, and they could actually pull it down. I mean, this is like something back from when I don't even know how long ago. This was when Genji had 8-second Dragon Blade. So, you know what? I would actually love them to see them play this right now. This would be something out of a dream.
They're actually gonna do it.
Yep. Okay. Let's see where they position themselves. This is what matters most.
Seagull played the Luminosity with Seagull played this as well, but that wasn't defense. And I'm like, okay, I guess that makes sense. But they're gonna go through the top half though, so that is a little bit surprising to me. Oh look,
I'm not a big fan of it. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. They can easily be jumped on here by that monkey. At the same time, the rest of the team's going to be dropped. And yeah, the choke's too short. Gunpowder's going to take Death off the map, but it's not going to be enough.
That was not what I'd hoped. Okay,
no,
switches to Reaper. That is a depressing start.
You don't have the positioning. You don't have enough map control. You're just what do you expect? The enemy team's all going to be lined up on the left side, close in your vision. I don't see the logic in that. As he goes to Reaper, it's just even harder for him now that he's playing a short-range character up going through long. I mean, they just have the range on him. The soldier's just going to be flicking on him left and right. I mean, going up the stairs are going to take too much damage, and I don't think they're going to be able to take this fight unless they get close range on the back halls.
Yeah, agreed. Oh, got to pick up Asterix.
Oh, and Zumba actually finds out Death Row getting overly aggressive. Serenity actually going to boop off Soul Killer. Nice job by him, and Yumata Rebel's actually going to trade back, though. Unfortunately, Zumba, that's what I was saying about the Reaper. He's just too close range. You can't really follow up with this team unless they're dropped to him.
Yeah. That is painful. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing a Soul Color switch to the D.Va again. I know she's cheap in her, but I think she's still a really effective pick. I mean, she's still being picked in pro play, right? Even though she's not a 100% pick and ban anymore. Still
Koreans love to play D.Va. I mean, as we've seen in Apex, I mean, they just love playing D.Va. I don't know why. It's just something new, but at the same time, Yeah, she's relatively okay, but at the same time, you Mad Rebel actually misses a hammer down, and Gunpelt actually charges off the map again. Okay, see you, Gunpelt. See you next map. At the same time, Soul Killer actually gets hooked, and that's the rest of the offense taken down. Man, I'd be lost right now on the offensive side. 2 minutes left on the map, but it doesn't really matter. Death Row is actually overextending again, as like always, getting taken by his Zamba. Actually, not really too impactful, but that's the second time Gunpelt's charged off the map, unfortunately.
Yeah. That's not great. I imagine Dafros, he's not going to switch. That's interesting to me because of Zambu is just shredding him, and that's one of the things you really dislike when you play that Winston is seeing anything even remotely resembling a Reaper. It's just so strong against basically everything you do. With Rodan,
they have enough visor.
Pressure.
Oh my gosh, that charge was amazing from you, Mad Rebel, going behind the enemy soldier, being distracted by PK melt. Gets taken down by the charge, but I don't know. I mean, Kritsu gets the boop onto Reap, but it's just not going to be enough as the rest of the offense is taken out.
Yeah, it was to no avail, but I was watching that Kritsu play, and that was actually amazing. Reap popped his ultimate there, tried to knock him off, and he got too greedy. Kritsu made a really sweet wall ride and then knocked him off himself while he was still ulting.
I mean, hero plays aren't enough.
It was a good play.
Yeah. Hero plays aren't enough for comp issues right now. I mean, they're just getting zoned out with this Reaper. They don't have enough. You know, if the main thing I want to see them do is I want them to go back into the upper top area. But actually, a nice hammer down finds two out of position. Can potentially be something as all the ults actually being used on the side of the offense, and actually nothing going to be really taken out. Zuma and him may actually get booped off. I think by who was that? Death Row. That's why he didn't swap, I guess. I mean, he finds two, gets slept actually. Nice sleep dart, but you Mad Rebel blocks on the point to solo line, and Gunpel actually find two on point, and actually finally gonna find something with that amazing Earth Shatter onto two players. So that really brings it back in for him.
Yeah, it looks like this game isn't over just yet. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. I feel like the onto the next point is pretty easy. You rarely see the offense failing like in between the first and the second point. It's mainly when you need to get underneath the bridge, when you get really close to the defense spawn, that it gets really hard again. Yeah,
and a nice hard reset from Eversio, jumping off the map, but that was all on the hammer down. I don't think the Reaper really was doing much there. Unfortunately, couldn't find anything, but Death Row gets 2.0'd, and it's gonna be back to the brawl here on the main fight. And let's see if Zemba can do anything on this Winston now, actually.
Yeah, we have Nano Visor ready to approach the Eversio, so I imagine they're going to try and do something good. Hitman has switched that Tracer now, not doing too well because Serenity, immediately takes him out.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's not back on Widowmaker, especially since there's no Winston here or D.Va to deal with him. In which I wouldn't actually be surprised to see Hitman do that. He's actually swapping a soldier, but this just looks like Eversio cleaning up the rest of EvH. Could actually delay Soul Killer if they wanted to, but actually aren't. And that's going to be a hard reset on the side of EvH. Not really going to be doing much there as soon as their Tracer got picked off, and unfortunately don't have any ults compared to Eversio's ult advantage currently. Yeah,
ult economy-wise, the switch from like Tracer to soldiers not going to make you very happy either. I like the fact that they're switching up their positioning here. Just going to come through that. But look who's waiting there. You Mad Rebel. It's the flanking Reinhardt.
It's the Benjay. Gets a 5-6-man Earth Shatter. Oh my gosh, that's an insane Earth Shatter. But a hammer down comes on to Gunpelt. Couldn't find potentially something. There's actually a Boostio at the same time. Oh my gosh, was that one crazy events right there as we see Soul Kill actually slept behind. Can't play D.Va, can't drive out of there, unfortunately.
I keep telling you, man. Flanking Reinhardt. It's a thing.
I know it is. It's just surprising that we see it so often. I mean, that was especially at that position. Oh man, they had a good read where they knew they were coming back into that hallway, and they're like, you know what, guys, I have a read here. They're not gonna come main. I'm just gonna wait in the most weird position I've ever seen in my life and get a 6-man Earth Shatter. I guess. I mean, bravo to you, Mad Rebel. I guess. Props to him.
Yeah. Read them like a poem. Unbelievable. And only 15 seconds left, so the next team fight needs to be won by Team EvH here.
There's that Graviton Surge that they need to come back with. The beat drop comes out as well with the Nano Buys. A Nano Reaper can't really find much, doesn't really find anything. It's up to PK Melt to find 2 actually on the offensive side. Can't really find anything else. PK Melt finds 3 in the end, and a Nano Hog just to clean up. This is the last time that they're ever going to see this map, Nubani. They're out of here. See Entropy. I mean EvH.
Oh man, that last fight had Sandu getting nano boosted and almost like half a second later go into Wraith form. That is painful. That's suboptimal.
Two rage quits, unfortunately.
Not great, unfortunately. That being said, this is again not EvH. EvH just lost 2-0 to Project Eversio, and this is going to be the flanking Reinhardt, right? Like nothing else. No, it's not.
No, it's not. Oh man,
I'm really disappointed.
It's on stream. Okay, we have that flanking Earth Shatter. We have Gunbelt, or not Gunbelt. We had Mad Rebel in that perfect positioning and that perfect timing. I mean, that read was absolutely amazing from him in particular, and the team to follow up on that. Especially the Boostio. That was my favorite part of that entire event.
You know, it's like adding insult to injury. We don't even need to properly use that nano boost here. Yeah, so all in all, a lot of like relatively one-sided games that we see here today. All of them 2-0s. I feel like the series between what do you call it, against Paradigm and New Kings was the most even one. Was they felt like a little bit less one-sided. Entropy versus New Kings was pretty.
Yeah, that was probably
close.
the best. That was, oh yeah. Paradigm.
Both. I mean, the first two were closer, and then Eversio versus anyone was. Yeah,
kind of a stomp. Yeah,
they did very well. Yeah, so we're through our matches today. Nothing left, but we will be back next Tuesday. That's the 28th of February at 8. We're going to start off with EvH against Entropy. So that's going to be really interesting. We'd like to thank AOC, Go, the Malta Tourism Authority, and the Gamers Lounge for sponsoring this tournament. I want to thank you as well. Dogman, thank you very much for joining us tonight. I hope you had as much fun as I did.
Yep, thanks to the off-screen Adam doing some work for us. Great job by him. Thanks, Chronos Leader, for helping me out. Or Chrono. Chronicle, I'm sorry. I'm so used to calling you. I'm so used to calling Martis, man.
It's okay. That's fine as well. I'm not picky. Thank all of you for watching. We hope you enjoyed it, and make sure to join us next time. Have a very good night.